Hey guys, welcome back to another Shop My Stash Sunday. Now you guys would have just seen a Shop My Stash last Sunday, but that one was actually filmed a week earlier and should have gone up a week earlier, but I was really late in uploading. So you're getting two back to back, but I've still been using these products for 2 weeks rather than one. I don't know if this is going to be making sense the way I'm speaking it, but I get it in my head, which is usually how life goes, right? Anyway, if you guys are interested in hearing me talk about the products that I have been focused on the last couple of weeks and then seeing me shop my stash for the products that I'll be focused on the next couple of weeks, then stay tuned. But first, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I hope you'll consider doing so before you go. I post videos every single Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Without further ado, let's get into this Shop My Stash. Alright guys, I always try and do this like in some sort of order and it just doesn't ever work out that well. Quickly, let's run through a foundation. So I did end up finishing up a foundation this past rotation. I ended up finishing up my L'Oreal Pro Glow, so you won't be seeing that, but you will be seeing it in empties. I have my Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. This is the illuminating version in the Bare Radiance shade. This is just going to be going throughout the rest of the summer, maybe even permanently, because I always just like to have a tinted moisturizer going, and this is my only tinted moisturizer for days that I am running late for work and just want to do something super light and natural, or sometimes I'll wear a tinted moisturizer to the gym. So this always stays. And then I have my Too Faced Peach Perfect foundation, which I used quite a bit the last couple of weeks and have really been enjoying. But because I did get some good use out of it, I am going to put this away for now. This one is just going to be going in until it's finished. This is the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Cream in the original version. I also have the Radiant version. I mention this in every video that I talk about this, but I love this foundation for when I know I'm going to be out in the sun for a prolonged period of time, because it does have SPF 50 and I've never burned while wearing this. I want to get through this one because it's been in my collection longer, and going forward I will just buy the Radiant version because I definitely prefer that over this one. Then I also had the Essence Fresh and Fit Awake Makeup, the Healthy Glow. I only have a fourth of this left. I actually did not use this at all, so I'm going to keep this in. I would really like to try and work my way through this by the end of the year. There are so many foundations releasing lately that have me so interested, so I'll know I'm going to be buying some new foundations very soon. So as many as I can get through until I buy some new ones, I would love to, but that one will stay. I also had pulled in my L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation, and I had said that I really wasn't sure whether or not I liked this foundation or not. When I had been testing it prior to pulling it in, I did not like it, but every time I wore it, I got tons of compliments, but I actually really did like it after pulling it. I wore this quite a bit the last couple weeks and really enjoyed this. Sometimes I would mix this with the L'Oreal Pro Glow that I ended up finishing up, because that Pro Glow was way too dark for me and this was slightly too light. And I also mixed this with the Too Faced Peach Perfect, and I really like the way those two mix together as well. Because I did get so much use out of this, I'm going to put this away for this rotation, because again, I'd really like to focus my efforts on this Essence one for a little bit. And then I also had the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation pulled. I only wore this 1 or 2 times, but I think I'm going to put this away as well, just because I really would like to finish that Essence foundation. By the way, you guys, I recently redid the way that I do my Shop My Stash videos, and I don't talk to you guys about the products going in project pans, just because I talk about those in my project pan videos, and my videos were just getting too long. So I do also have products going in project pans that I'm also using interchangeably with my Shop My Stash items. For concealer, I had pulled my Flower Beauty, what do they call this? The Light Illusion Concealer. I use this quite a bit, so I'm going to put it away for a little bit. And then I also had been using my Elsie Complete Remedy Silk Concealer, which I have been really enjoying. I'm going to, like I said, put the Flower Beauty one away. And even though I got some good use out of this, I want to keep this in one more rotation. Sorry, I also had my Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer going. I don't even know if I used this one time, so this one will stay. For powder, I have been using my Hourglass Vanish powder. I think this is the Veil powder for quite a few rotations now, so I feel like I should put this away and roll in a different loose powder for a little bit. And then last rotation, I pulled in my Essence All About Matte Fixing Compact Powder. I'm going to keep this going. I don't have a ton of loose or pressed powders in my collection, so rather than circling or cycling through them every couple weeks and switching them out, I like to keep them pulled for a little bit longer. So this one I will keep going for a bit. Okay, apparently it was like the Shop My Stash of bronzers last rotation. OMG, I have so many bronzers I had pulled. I want to make sure I have them all. Okay, so I always have my Fenty Matchstick in Amber going. This is what I use as a nose contour, but just wanted to mention that. I have been using my Ulta Beauty face sculpting stick quite a bit this summer as a cream bronzer, but I'm going to put this away for a little bit because I've used it so much, and I'm going to pull in my Milk baked bronzer because that's the only other cream bronzer I have in my collection, and I want to have one cream bronzer going at a time. So we're going to swap those out. I got a ton of use out of my Balm Desert bronzer by The Balm. This is typically too dark for me, but I can get away with it in the summer, and I have really been enjoying it the last couple of weeks. But I also mentioned in my last Shop My Stash that my ABH bronzer is also typically too dark for me. So I want to swap these out because I was able to get such good use on this. I want to make sure that I get some use out of the ABH one before summer's end. I also got quite a bit of use out of my Hourglass Luminous Bronze Light Bronzer. I love this bronzer. It's so beautiful for the summertime, but I am going to put it away for a little bit just because there were some other bronzers that I did not reach for at all. I have my Cover FX Sunkissed Bronze Duo that I'm literally obsessed with. Like, truly obsessed. I love this. So even though I know I should put this away, I am going to keep this. I'm going to keep this in another rotation. This is one I didn't reach for at all. This is the Natasha Denona Bronzing Glow. I have used this a couple times, but like I said, I didn't reach for this at all the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to keep this going. I also did not reach for my Essence Sun Matte Bronzing Powder at all, and this has been in now a couple rotations that I haven't reached for it. So I'll keep this going and try and remember to reach for that. I have my Marc Jacobs Tantastic bronzer going as well. I think I used this 1 or 2 times, but I'm going to put this away. I know I love this and can reach for this at any time, and I need to stop overwhelming myself with bronzers. And then you guys, I also had my Fenty Into Sun bronzer pulled, which I didn't reach for even one time, so I'm going to keep this one pulled as well. Realistically, I am just going to pull that ABH bronzer and the cream bronzer, and I'll still be overwhelmed by bronzers. Okay, I got a lot going on for blush as well. Jeez Louise. Okay, so let's see. Up first, we have Becca's Snapdragon, which I hadn't reached for in the longest time. I actually have this on my cheeks today, and I've worn this a few times. It's a really nice blush, but it's super, super pigmented, so you just have to be very careful when applying this. I feel good about the amount of times that I got use out of this, and I want to make sure that I can cycle in some of my other summer-only blushes before the end of the season, so I am going to be putting this back. I also used MAC Warm Soul a couple of times. This is what this looks like. I can pretty much reach for this all year round, so I'm going to put this away for a bit since I was able to get some use out of it. My Milk makeup work has been going pretty much all summer. I don't know if I reached for this at all this past month. I think I will put this away just for a little bit. I'm also going to put away my Flower Blush Bombs. I maybe reached for this one more time this past rotation, but I just am not reaching for liquid blush that often, and I'm going to keep in my Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand. So I'll put this back and we'll keep the Charlotte Tilbury. I reached for this one so much. This is the Ciate London, I forget what they call these, but it is the blush in Summer Love. So beautiful, just such a like nice pop on the cheeks for the summer. It just looks like you have like a sun-kissed summery cheeky glow to your skin, and I have been loving this, but it is time to put this away. I really want to pick up the shade Date Night in this. It's like a beautiful mauve tone shade, but don't need to be adding any more blush to my collection right now. I believe I reached for this 1 or 2 more times. This has been going a couple rotations. This is the Laura Geller Tropical Hues Beige Blush. Again, a very beautiful blush, one that I can really get away with only in the summertime, but I did get some good use out of this, so I'm going to put this away so that I can pull out a couple other summer blushes. And then this one has also been going for a few rotations. This is one of the MAC Extra Dimension blushes. So it's more of like a blush topper, and it's like a very glowy blush topper, like almost like a highlight. I've gotten so much use out of this. I've used this almost every single day to top my blush off, just to give me like a beautiful glow to the skin. I've been really into glowy skin the last couple of weeks, so I have gotten some good use out of this. I feel like I was planning to put this away, but I may as well just keep this in through the end of August, since it's, I feel like, really like some of my last chance to use it before the seasons change. So I'm gonna keep this in one more rotation. And then I also had my Buxom Mykonos blush pulled. This is what it looks like. Again, so beautiful. Reminds me of Snapdragon a little bit by Becca. And I didn't reach for this because I was reaching for Snapdragon because I knew I hadn't used that blush in so long. This is a newer blush to my collection, so I'm going to keep this one in. I love the Buxom Wonderlust blushes, so I am really excited to test that out on the cheeks. For highlight, again, lots of highlights going as well, as always. I pulled in my Becca Lilac Geode blush, highlight, which is this beautiful like pinky golden sort of highlight. I did get some good use out of this. I used this maybe 3 or 4 times, so I'm happy with that and ready to put that back. My Wet n Wild Precious Petals highlighter has been going a couple rotations now. I did get a couple more uses out of this, so I am ready to put this away. I think I mentioned in my last video, I think I'm going to try and pan this for my 2020 year-long project pan, because I don't really care to support Wet n Wild anymore. I had pulled in my ColourPop Lunch Money Super Shock Cheek highlight, because I do like to top my Milk lipstick with this, but I've been horrible at going to the gym, and this is like my favorite gym combo for a highlighter because I am that extra when I go to the gym. So I didn't get any use out of this. I am going to keep this pulled, or keep this in rotation, because I didn't get any use out of it. I'm also going to keep my Persona Zuma highlighter going in through the rest of the summer, just because this is a little bit darker and I don't feel like I'm going to be able to use this when I'm at my fairest. So I want to make sure I get some great use out of this the rest of the summer. I absolutely love this highlighter. It is stunning. And then this one has been going for at least 2 rotations now as well, I believe. This is the Pixi by Petra Glowy Gossamer Duo in Delicate Dew. This is what this looks like. I actually have this on my cheeks today. I've gotten some really great use out of this. This is an amazing product. I'm upset that I like wasted so much time not buying this, because I was like, no, like you really don't need that. But if you like a really nice, intense, wet looking highlight, I would highly recommend checking this one out by Pixi. For like single eye sort of eyeshadows, eye products, I had Tarte Top Yacht. This is one of their chrome paint pots. It's just like a nice champagne shade. I did use this a couple more times, so I am ready to put this back. And then also I had pulled my Laura Mercier Caviar Stick, which I think I used one time. Still not enough. I don't know if you'll be able to see it swatched right here. I don't love the caviar sticks as much as everyone else does, but I'm going to keep these, or this, pulled for another rotation. And then to finish it off, the 4 mascaras that I have going, because I always like to have 4 going, and I actually think I have more than 4 going possibly, but a couple are back at my makeup station. The Wander Beauty Mile High Club. This has been going for about a month now. I do really like this for like lengthening and separating the lashes. Usually I go in with this mascara first and then top it with the Marc Jacobs Nior mascara. I also have my Milk Waterproof Mascara, which I love on days that I'm going to the beach, or I'm out and I know I'm going to be sweating, or if I'm going to the pool. Yeah, Milk Kush in the waterproof version. I love the Milk Kush mascara. And then last rotation, I pulled the Benefit The Real Tinted Primer as well as the mascara. Used a couple of times. Don't like mind it, but also don't love it. Definitely not something I'm going to go purchase the full size in, but those are the mascaras that I have been using. So those are all the beauty products that I have been focused on. As far as eyeshadow palettes and lips, I really haven't figured out a good way to kind of incorporate like lips, because it's just, I don't have enough space to like set all the lip products that I'm using aside. So if you guys have any ideas on how you'd like me to talk about lip products, or like if you want me to pull lip products and try and do something, or I was thinking maybe I would try and do like a lipstick roulette, that's possible. But I have started an eyeshadow palette roulette, and I have an update that'll either be going up next week or just recently, no, it should have just recently posted last week. So if you're interested in seeing that, I will link that video down below. But I basically randomly selected 5 eyeshadow palettes to focus on throughout the month. So rather than pulling eyeshadow palettes during the Shop My Stash portion, those are the ones that I'm focused on, as well as all the eyeshadow palettes going in my 19 Shadows in 2019 project, which I can also leave linked in case you guys are interested in looking at that. But other than that, I am out of breath and I'm ready to go shop my stash. All right, guys, so starting up top with my foundation, I do want to pull one foundation that's like a little bit too dark for me, just because I fear that all my foundations that currently are pulled for this rotation are a little too light. So instead of pulling my Dior Forever Skin, I think I'm going to pull my YSL Touche Éclat All-in-One Glow, which I love, and this is definitely more of like a self-tanned shade for me, so I feel like this would be a good mixer. For primer, I am working on one pretty aggressively in my Project Pan. Look how little my primer collection is right now. I think I actually... I'm going to pull the NYX Honey Dew Me Up Primer. I had this pulled maybe a couple months ago, but didn't use it too often. So we'll pull it and try and get some use out of this the last little bit of summer here. Okay, so then going into my powder drawer, I need a loose powder in the... with the exception of the Hourglass Veil Mineral, I only have 2 other loose powders. I have used this one, the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting powder, more recently than I have used the RCMA powder, so I feel like I should pull this one. Even though I really want to pull the Too Faced Born This Way, we're going to pull this one. And then for concealer, my concealer collection doesn't feel like too overwhelming right now. I think I will pull, I love this one so much. I'm going to pull my Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Concealer to go with the other ones already pulled. Okay, so then coming into my bronzer drawer, like I said, I was going to grab the ABH bronzer, which I have in the shade Tawny, which is obviously pretty dark. It's the second lightest shade, but it's still pretty dark on me and really only works in the summer. So I'm going to pull this as well as the Milk bronzing stick in Baked, and that is going to be it for my bronzer drawer. Okay, so then for blush, I don't want to overwhelm myself too much. I should only pull one blush. What do I want to pull? Shoot, I'm like stuck, you guys. I think I'm gonna pull Becca Songbird, which is this like peachy neutral toned blush that I really, really love, but it's glowy, so I feel like summer appropriate, but not necessarily fall / winter. So try and get some use out of this before summer's end. Okay, so into highlighting drawer number 1, I tried to reorganize my highlighting drawer. So this one is more of like pinky toned highlights, which I don't necessarily want to pull in right now. We're not going to pull from this drawer. And then this drawer is like more like champagne colored highlights. I only want to pull one highlighter. I actually think I'm gonna pull this Becca Opal highlighter because I haven't worn Becca Opal in forever. And actually, I'm also gonna pull my little mini Becca Rose Quartz because I absolutely was obsessed with this highlight. This is actually more of a pinky toned one. This could definitely go in the drawer up above, but this just gives like a sun kissed like glow to the cheeks that I love, so I'm going to pull this as well. Okay, so then we have my single eyeshadow drawer, which is like my least favorite drawer. I always say this. I don't think I'm gonna pull anything from this drawer today. So then moving into mascara and eyeliners, which eyeliners, you guys, I really just grab eyeliner like as I need them for each look. And then I also have brow products. I don't feel like I need to pull anything this round. I pulled new mascara last rotation, so it's not ready. We're not ready for new mascara yet. So moving on to my last drawer, which is my face palette drawer. I always like to have one ABH Glow Kit pulled, which I forgot to share with you guys in the beginning of this, but it is my ABH Sun Dipped Glow Kit, which I'm going to keep in for just this last rotation because it's my favorite ABH Glow Kit for the summertime. And then I like to pull one other face palette, which I had pulled the Wander Beauty one and haven't used at all, but I think I'm also still going to pull one more. I'm going to pull this Kokie Contour palette, which looks like a dupe for the Kat Von D Shade and Light. This was just recently pulled, and I didn't get a ton of use out of it, and then I put it back. So I'm going to try and get some better use out of it this time around. Alright, you guys, so then here are all of my picks for this rotation. I almost said month. For the next couple of weeks. This definitely feels less way less full than it has. And then over here we have all of my project pan items, and then basically where I get ready every single day. There's the eyeshadow palettes that I'm focused on, my brushes, some eyeliners, deodorant. Yeah, it's looking a little messy over here, but that concludes this Shop My Stash video. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you in tomorrow's video.